Hello and welcome, formally, to the press conference on Silverburst Rhythm 93.7 Jos. It's a show that comes to you every day, Mondays through to Thursdays from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. And what do we do on the show? We get behind the headlines, look at the issues in the news, and of course we try to unpack some of the, details in the stories making the headlines. My name is Samson Omar. It's good to be here.
Good evening, I'm Okandi Ode.
It's been a weekend of celebration, Mr. Okandi. One of the fathers of the state, David Jang, celebrated 80 years, and there were lots of people who were there. I had the privilege of passing by, and the who is who were there. I mean, across political lines. The man who took over from him was very much present to celebrate with Jang, with Donald Jang, Senator Jang. You also have representation from the state government. His Excellency was represented by the Secretary to the state government. You have potential politicians who were there. Those who are current favors were also there. Hoping that they'll be able to establish their political prowess ahead of 2027 elections. I saw them there, and then they were friends, they were well-wishers, and they very stuck. It was a gathering that was beyond politics, really, if you ask me. If you look at the caliber of people that were there, and but the good thing is that the man is looking strong, he's looking healthy, he's working unaided, he has a good sense of judgment. The only thing was that we weren't allowed to speak to him to get his thoughts on his 80th birthday. But what do you think of it?
Well, we thank God for his life. Actually, I wasn't there, but I watched clips of the video clips of the event. I saw, as you did, that the former governors of the states were there, and I saw the celebrants dancing very strong, and we thank God that he's still mentally agile and alert, which makes him still relevant in the political project in this country up till now. And over in the state, I saw even the state PDP celebrating him on the occasion of that birthday. So he's lucky, and we thank God for him, that he's still there to provide political leadership and guidance to a lot of people you saw there, just as you said, clamoring for one political opportunity or the other. But there is something very significant about that birthday that a lot of people may not have observed. You noted quite well that former governors were there, and of course the immediate past governor, Simon Lalong in particular, was there. You see, that one, the credit does not go so much to the fact that Ja was celebrating birthday or maybe invited him to celebrate a birthday. This matter will go back to the efforts of the present governor, Mutfo, who has been talking of, no, wait. He has forged a relationship, that is a kind of a platform for all the past governors of the state. Beginning from the first event of this Christmas Carol and event, he wanted all the former governors to be there. He wants them to close ranks, to always work for the progress of the state. So I think that thing is still carrying on to the event of yesterday, and it will go beyond that. And I think they should keep that spirit. Before, you would not have expected Lalong to be in a Jang event. When he came to power, if a razor falls from his table, Jang, all those things were there. But I think there is a new spirit, and that is very, very important.
All right, so we say we encourage inclusiveness, we encourage unity on the plateau, irrespective of tribe, creed, religion, party, especially I think party, irrespective of whatever party you are or you belong to. It's good that we unite together as a people. And then obviously this unity also cuts across that if you are not also even indigenous to the state, and you have found your place, that you are not contesting for the seat of the chief or seat or any other board, you have been seen to be contributor adding value, you should also be found to be included in the process of uniting the entire state, whether you are in or out of the state. But closely talking about birthday, another one, but definitely it will be one that will be remembered posthumously, and quite sadly as you think about it, another illustrious son of this state, was supposed to have had his birthday yesterday, 15th of March 2026, if he was still alive. I'm talking about the senator, the distinguished senator, late senator, Gyan Nyam Shom Pajok, Janice Pajok. His birthday was, he would have been 58 yesterday, and a man who brought a lot, to Plateau, a man who conceptualized modern Plateau in his own way. And of course, we've talked about this several times, about the life and times of this person who had Plateau in his heart, slept Plateau, dreamt Plateau, talked about Plateau, even though for political reasons a lot of people who have hated his intention and ambition to have occupied the Rayfield government house. But setting that aside, you can't take the fact that he was a jolly good fellow. He was a very accommodating gentleman across wherever, very accessible. But he died in 2018, in 2015, just shortly after the elections of that year. Mr. Ode.
Well, you've remembered him. The birthday was yesterday. Unfortunately, he's no more. So we remember him on that occasion and pray for the continuous repose of his soul.
Okay, let's get into the items for discussion for today. And I think the trending event is in Owerri, where the City Boy movement went, and then there's a lot of talk all over the social media. Where Nigerians, you can never fault them. There's a way they can turn a very serious situation into all manner of comedy. They say it's City Boy movement versus Village Boys colliding together. Now, the City Boy movement, in their own ingenuity, wanted to interact with Nigerians, wanted to share love to Nigerians, and so they went to Imo State. And I think, by the way, the City Boy movement is the brainchild of the son of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. His name is Sheyi Tinubu, and he's used this as a platform to press the ideas and vision closely related to his father. And I think it has something to also do with the 2027 election, I think. So they went there and they had a lot of things to share: grinding machines, pumping machines, food and all that. But unfortunately, the venue was invaded, and following that invasion, there's been a whole lot of talk about, that hey, look, we're already poor, so many things. But I think that we should look at it from the very intention of when they didn't go there to cause trouble. The City Boy movement, based on their intention, didn't go there to cause a disorganization, a chaos. They went there to share what they had to share to people, and it wasn't compulsory, Mr. Odi, that if you don't want it, you don't need to be there to collect anything. Nobody was forcing anybody there. So they went there to share, but eventually people broke into that place, chaos erupted, and then we have a press statement already coming from the City Boy movement following the incident in Owerri on Saturday, Sunday. But maybe you want to make a few comments, and I can take the press statement from the City Boy movement.
You said the City Boy, is it City Boys or City Boy?
City Boy movement.
You see, that guy should be careful, because he will help his father to fail the elections woefully.
How?
I'm coming. You don't be in a hurry. You see, what is the relationship? What is the concept of City Boys? How does the problem, the problem of Nigeria now reflect in that concept, City Boys? What is City Boys about Nigeria? The country in hunger, in poverty, worsening social conditions, worsening insecurity. You are talking of City Boy. City Boy is not even having a home to look like not having a hoe or a knife in his hand to look like agriculturist. You are bringing junk food to come and share. If you go and check now, you will see spaghetti, indomie, all these things that doctors have advised people to avoid eating. And then you are coming to town, a traumatized population, people ravaged by hunger. Can you tell me whether one hunger is village and one hunger is township or city or urban? It was an unnecessary thing, and then you see they didn't even manage it well. How did they draw out the plan? That no sooner than they got there, the whole thing collapsed, and then people invaded. How did they? That is, how much did they bring? What is the population of the people? If you even limiting it to Owerri town?
No, it was for the 5 eastern states. The whole 5 southeast states were.
Okay, to converge on Owerri.
Yes.
For that purpose.
Yes.
So now, how many tons or how many trailer loads of the food that did they bring? You see, that is what I'm saying. You see, that the whole thing was unnecessary. We should think of enduring programs that will help people, that will enable people to have their own food and feed themselves at the time they want. Not that you come on a Saturday that people should not go to a farm, then bring spaghetti, you bring Indomie.
No, but Mr. Ode, it wasn't that they caused the problem. People searched forward to collect this item.
Look, they say there is no smoke without fire. Who caused it? And I'm saying that, look, what I am saying is, City Boy, the movement is not even necessary. It's not necessary.
To you, it's not necessary. To those who conceptualize it, it's important to them. If it's not important to you, why are you bothered about why? You should mind your own business in terms of it's not your this thing. But for those who created the movement, it is important to them. They take it very seriously, and they are pressing on it.
Even if you are their spokesperson here,
I'm not.
I still want to tell you that
I'm not their spokesperson.
Given the background, given the socio-economic conditions of Nigeria.
But you cannot
that is not what is urgent now. That is not what will help Nigerians get out of the kind of pain, the kind of hardship they are passing through now.
That's what I'm saying. This is not a government organization. It is not a. It does not. It's not a.
Look, critiquing it does not mean it must be government organization. It must not be government.
So what are you saying?
Government organization.
So what are you saying, Mr.
I'm just saying it is socio-politically destructive.
How is it destructive?
It cannot bring succor. It cannot bring a desired succor. The enduring remedies or the enduring solutions we need to the present socio-economic conditions of Nigerians.
That's why they are not in government. They are not governors. They are not president. This movement is not the governor. Is not the president. It's not the National Assembly, which you should direct your anger towards. They are just a movement. They are non-governmental organization. They've come to a place to give out phones, give out sewing machines, give out give out phones, sewing machines, things like pumping machines and all of that, food to people, and then suddenly people have phones, sewing machines, grinders, among others, and then suddenly people
now that what is the source of the goodwill?
Source of the goodwill?
Yeah, you say they are not government people. How do they earn their own living for them now to embark on this kind of elaborate, expansive goodwill?
I'll tell you, according to this report I have you heard about the name Obi Kubana before?
Obi Kubana. Then he borrowed the name or the business name of Sheyi Tinubu.
No.
City Boy.
No. Obi Kubana is the one leading the City Boy movement in the southeast, and unfortunately we're not supposed to be giving them props here or giving advert. They're supposed to pay us to do this, but we're just trying to talk about it and all that.
To pay, you are the one to pay. If you don't even take them, we'll issue you receipts here. You are the one promoting them here.
No, I'm not promoting. It's because there's an issue that concerns Nigerians. That's why we're talking about it now. And of course, him is a multi-billionaire, I'm told. He's a multi-billionaire, so he has possible money to contribute to the movement. And that's why they went there. And that's why they bought those things.
Well, Nigerians need something. What I'm saying about this matter is that, you see, we need something more enduring.
Not
than
from
this kind of quick patch, and not from this kind of amorphous.
Talk to your president and your governors and your national assembly. Don't talk to this movement.
This is an amorphous movement. Very amorphous.
How do you describe that amorphous?
It's a distraction. They should allow Nigerians to concentrate on finding solutions to their problems. They should help Nigerians to reflect on the truth of their situation so that they can vote properly in the next election. This is a socio-political distraction.
Okay. Maybe we'll bring one of the officials here, one of these, so that
why don't you bring 20 of them? I'm here.
So that you can confront them adequately. This is the press conference. I take a break. We'll come back with more after this timeout. This is the press conference on Silverbird's Rhythm 93.7 shows. Mr. Ode, let's move on and let's talk about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's visit to the United Kingdom. We must appreciate the president that, unlike his predecessor, He's not a frequent flyer to the UK, as it were. He's found a new home, possibly in France, because he's visited France more than the UK, but he's making his way to the UK now. I'm not sure if this is the first or second official visit he's having.
What you are saying is like saying, these two people, they eat too much. They're always eating in between meals. But this, my friend, his own is not that bad because you are always eating gari, he's always eating rice.
I don't understand what you just said.
That's what you are saying. He's not always on the way to Great Britain,
yes,
as his predecessor.
Yeah.
But he's always
on the fact.
What is the difference? He's always on the way to France.
But that's the fact.
But what is the difference?
I'm not talking about difference.
There is no
facts.
Look, there is no basis for the comparison. But if we must compare, both of them are moving. The other person chose Great Britain. He has chosen France. Yes.
Well, at least you need to appreciate him that he's not always visiting UK like his predecessor has been visiting UK.
Well, we pray not only him, that subsequent presidents should not even be people that will always be, on
the move.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, but there's something about the visit which will happen this week. Now, the federal government says it has uncovered an attempt by an embattled mining company, Jupiter Limited, to launch what it described as a campaign of calumny against President Bola Tinubu during his planned visit to the United Kingdom following a dispute over revoked mineral licenses. The Ministry of Solid Minerals Development said the alleged move was aimed at discrediting the federal government's reforms in the mining sector and misleading the international community about the circumstances surrounding the revocation of certain mineral licenses. It said that the company and its associates were allegedly preparing to circulate what it termed misleading claims about the Nigerian mining sector to discredit the government's ongoing reforms. According to Shegun Tomori, the information assistant in the ministry, insisted that allegations that Nigeria seized the British lithium project under armed guard were false and misleading.
Is that all that's
all to it?
The evidence that planning now, has it been averted?
No, he has not visited yet.
No, has the plan been averted? Have they neutralized the plan? Will there not be protest when it goes?
As a matter of fact, I am even a bit concerned. I'm a bit not concerned now that this time around this statement, I was thinking that there were some planned protests by Nigerians.
That is because there are sufficient issues for Nigerians to carry placards when the president reaches there.
Okay.
Yes. And then what they are telling us about the planned protest, and then it's taking us to India, Afghanistan. Where did he say?
Jupiter Limited.
Yes, that because of a revoked license, mining license, and that kind of thing. Yeah. Why would it be of significance for if some non Nigerians, non Africans, decide to protest in London?
Because we don't embarrass the president. That's what the presidency said.
The president is there at the instance of the king.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Very true.
Yes, he was invited officially with his wife, so royal is like the royal invitation.
Yeah, that's true.
So also, I don't know, but I still see it. Since I read about it, I dismissed it as well. I tell you that you see the cabal in this government is a very sophisticated propaganda machine. And I've telling anybody who cares, don't undermine them. They can be very brutal and they can be very, very prompt.
In their
intrigues. In their
professional work.
Yes.
So we shouldn't be concerned about these planned protests, right?
No, I think if they are using their intent, they should be concerned about the Nigerian community. You understand me? With them people who want to talk about the issues at home, with some people who want to carry placards, like that is what will matter. What will be the problem for Nigeria if Indians come to carry placards in London? He's not their president. They should be more concerned about issues in Nigeria. What is okay? You see, like now, the ambassadorial postings is generating a lot of concern and other this thing. Some people could use that to embarrass him. You read what you said about the permanent representative to the United Nations and all such things.
I've not read anything yet.
Okay, so they should be concerned with such issues that affect Nigeria.
Yes.
Not India, whether they are mining or not mining.
Okay. So, but the president will be visiting. He is a guest of the King of England, Prince, or rather King Charles.
Yes.
And he will be there with his wife. I'm sure that Nigeria has one of the I think the largest community of Nigerians outside
Nigeria. It should exact
UK.
maximum benefit from the visit.
Sure.
Which will impact on our security situation as it is. How will that visit improve our security situation back home? How will that situation improve the collapsing state of the economy? How will that visit affect or impact positively on the inflation that is growing or rising by the day? How will it impact on unemployment or employment situation in Nigeria? These are the benefits we expect from the visit, and that as where he's going, in fact he was not taken unawares. He was invited, and between that time and now, he has prepared very well. His speechmakers say he's the first Nigerian president in 39 years to be invited like that by the King of London, and he should make history with it. 39 years is not a joke.
What about his predecessor who was there at his
they say this is, if you are going for treatment, is different to on your own. This one is the king that invited him.
But you also have president who have visited now. So
I said there is a qualitative difference between you going as a patient and then you go as on a state visit.
Okay, Mr. Ode. You really forced this laughter to my mouth. So one certain president was going there as a patient.
Okay. You stayed here. They didn't tell us by moonlight.
What? You're just not nice in the way you put it.
No, but that is you want facts to be twisted.
No.
You have alluded to the fact much earlier in this conversation.
Yes.
Isn't it? You said that he is not as frequent as before his predecessor, like this. I
didn't insinuate anything. You were the one who is bringing the facts now with
No, I was telling you that they are on the same. As far as that is concerned, they are on the same page. Just that the rules are different.
It's okay. I just can't hold it back this evening. It's okay. All right. 08064. I just need to leave the rest of the stories. Let's get to talk to you guys, to our wonderful listeners, by the way, on 08064641536. But there's something I wanted to talk about, Mr. Ode, and that's the fact that the Nigerian Labour Congress is seeking allowances, tax relief for workers over the recent fuel hike as a result of the Iranian war. This is as a result of the fact that the Brent crude on Monday shot up to around 3% to as high as 106.50 on the back of ongoing crisis in the Middle East. So they are saying that, hey, look, they will need the Nigerian Labour Congress is urging the federal government to award the costs of living allowance and tax relief for workers to cushion the effect of the recent increase in the price of petrol caused by the ongoing crisis in the Middle East. You have sued for this. You have particularly asked that the federal government should do something about that.
I'm very happy to you that you are well aware. You recall that the press conference has been a leader. We've been at the forefront once this problem started.
Yeah. So
that
now
the last discussion, man. Yeah. I think a caller, somebody calling. I think Radio Mama, who suggests that officially they should be making crude, a certain amount of crude oil available to Dangote, so it could produce for local consumption only as part of the cushioning effect. Now the NLC has come up with their own demand, which to me is justified. But the thing again is that if we should go ahead and adjust salaries, what of the private sector? How will the cushioning effect be extending to the private sector?
Very true. That's the same question I was going to ask. But again, at least there's a suggestion before the federal government.
No, yes, at least they are beginning to. I think they are listening to us, because if I call for the appointment, the constitution of emergency response committee, that should advise on what to do, because with the rising cost of crude, it means that we are heading towards another windfall.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it. 00646415369 is the number to call us, and let's have some conversation this evening based on what you've heard on the show. Remember to tell us your name, where you're calling from, and then, of course, let's get to hear you. But there's also some disturbing incident happening around Wasi area. I mean, killings just continue to go on in that place. We hear that there was also another round of killings that happened.
This is the kind of situation that will have should provide worry for the president's men. It's on the eve of the trip. You understand me? And we are not killing. We are talking of killings, not only ordinary innocent civilians or citizens. Armed security men are being killed, and that kind of. This is one of the issues that should worry the president's men. How do they prepare him to respond to these challenges? Yes, if the British press comes to him, and takes him up that as he's here, 10, 3, 4, 5 people are being killed in any part of the country. How does he respond to it without, messing up himself or the country?
As not only in Plateau State, there were also killings in Kaduna State. There's a killing that went on just the last 24 to 48
the security situation has been such that what we do now as Nigerians, when you wake up in the morning, you behave like a hunter. You go to check your traps to confirm which one there is an animal there, which one there is no animal. That is how this killing situation has become. When you wake up, you listen, you hear there is one in this way, maybe there is change of location, there is one another way.
All right, let's listen to what our callers have to say. Remember to tell us your name and where you're calling from. Hello, good evening, welcome to the show.
Hello, good evening, my very good friend, Samson Allen.
Good evening, sir.
And my big brother, Otu. Good evening, sir. Yes, Gentle from Better.
Okay, Gentle.
Honestly speaking, our dear president, Tabitha Torike, is absolutely uncalled for.
He was invited, though. He was invited. You cannot reject when a king calls you. Gentle. I'm coming. Gentle. I'm coming. Gentle. I'm coming. When a king calls you, you don't. There's an adage in my language that says, when a king calls, you don't know what's contained in the message that the king has for you. So your business is to just go before the king and be ready to receive the message.
But for what I say right now in our country is very embarrassing. See the way Amana walk around after Nigerian soldiers. They cut off their heads, legs, and body about almost 20 in Benin just last week. I see another one that happened in our state, I don't say, Elsa, Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces, and we are very military, we are smarter in this matter. That's what I want, that's what I'm after. Thank you, Mother. This was the killing of this very military of him. It's important, it's important that the dispensation for me on my own side. I'm telling you that because it's a very shameful that the Federal will completely cut off Nigerian soldiers' legs, and they force them live.
All right.
And you are going out as a commander-in-chief Nigerian Armed Forces. Thank you, Moses.
All right, thank you very much, Gentle, for your comment. Thank you very much. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
This is Charlie Stanley calling from George.
All right, Charlie Stanley, let's go ahead.
Thanks, Lord. I ask you a question and answer. You will answer me up to now.
What was the question?
Let me answer another question.
Okay.
This city movement, that Shady, Tinubu, the way you have been praising them, it's like you are part of them. The way you are praising them.
How did I praise them?
And I want to, let me tell you, I want to tell them, let them stop giving Nigeria fish. They should show them how to fish. Although they are giving Nigeria the peanuts. They are peanuts out of the billions of pesos we have in Nigeria. Charlie? They should stop giving us peanuts.
Charlie?
See.
Charlie, wait now. Charlie, wait. Charlie. We need to have a conversation. Huh?
The conversation is getting heated.
Yes. So, I've never accused you of anything before since you've been calling on this program. You have accused me twice now. I can sue you for defamation. No, on a serious note, I'll look for you. I'll send my lawyers to you. Because you're accusing me of what I'm not a member of. You have accused me of in the name of asking me questions. So maybe my lawyer needs to visit you.
No, not by the way.
Okay.
I want to advise them. Let us stop giving Nigeria peanuts. We should show Nigeria how to feed and stop giving all these peanuts out of abundance we have in Nigeria.
Okay.
Please, they should talk about security. If they could kill it in Nigeria every day, let him go to his father and attack his father. If all Nigeria attack, who will go to his father 2027? Moreover, when did he get this one that he spent? See, they should fix Nigeria. Thank you and God bless you.
Charlie Stainless, thank you very much for calling. We appreciate your call. 08064641536. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the show. Hello. Hello, sir.
Hi, good evening.
Emmanuel from Busubuji, go ahead, please.
What I'm trying to say is that I don't know why some of our leaders, some of them, these our leaders of this country, many of them, anytime they assume to the power, their attention will always focus on Britain. And this country is not benefiting anything from Britain. And the root cause of the trouble we're facing today is being caused by Britain, because the Britain are the one that plunged us into the crisis and trouble we have today in this country. And check all the record of all the countries that the Britain colonized. There is crisis all over the places. It was recently that Britain started talking about insecurity because they have seen America has taken actions about Nigerian insecurity. That's when they started talking about insecurity. What is the purpose of going to Britain? And we're not getting anything from Britain. Talk about Shiwuchunu that is doing campaign at Owerri. Now, Shiwuchunu have never even known to Owerri, but now it's because of campaign. And the INEC can see all this and they know what he's talking about. They have started their campaign all over the place. Why the campaign time have never even started. So it's a shame.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
But I don't seem to agree with him that he pretend that plunged us into this crisis. If he read his history books well, the post-independent Nigeria, especially that early period stretching up to the 70s when our economy was super, when our currency used to be one of the strongest in the world, you know, how did Britain contribute to that? You know, we got independence in 1960 because we agitated and said we are ready for self-governance, that we will manage our own affairs. There is no link between what's the economic crisis in Nigeria and the fact that most of the or any other any other country out there that was colonized by Britain is suffering. No. There is no relationship between it. Let us hold ourselves responsible for what is happening. Before 2009, we did not used to have this insecurity situation. So under this democracy, even there has been considerable peace and considerable progress. So I don't think somebody should drag Britain into this one. There is no relationship between Britain being there and the economic woes or the political crisis we are having. They are completely our own problems, and we have to solve them.
Okay, again, I like to talk on facts, and I hope people don't misunderstand me when I say, look, because again, so that we'll not depend on hearsay or use our emotions to deal with certain issues. Now, Mr. Ode has raised a concern from what Charlie Stainless spoke about. The other part of it is that Sheyi Tinubu was not in Owerri. Number one fact, Sheyi Tinubu was not the one in Owerri. Number two, they didn't go there for campaign. That's not what they went there for. Based on all that we've heard, what they went there were, they went to distribute items. If you interpret it as campaign, fine, but based on what they went there for, it was basically for that. And if it was campaign, definitely I'm sure that the authorities concerned should have raised concern about that. Just putting the facts out there. Hello, good evening.
To put the record straight, what I disputed was not said by Charlie Stainless, the last caller.
Okay, sorry, not Charlie Stainless, sorry, yes. Emmanuel, sorry.
Yes.
Sorry. We apologize. Not Charlie Stainless, but Emmanuel from Busubuji.
Hello.
Hello, sir, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Thompson. This is Ahmed calling from Bochuru.
This is who?
Ahmed.
Ahmed from Bochuru, go ahead, please.
Yeah. Mr. Yancho has said it all, actually. Although I'm not condemning Mr. President to return to the UK, just that I don't know the essence of going there. I mean, if the king is just inviting me for what? Although you have a point, you said he doesn't know the reason of the invitation. Yeah, that is the point. What I'm saying is that when you look at these white people's perspective towards us, it's very, very, I mean, the positivity is very limited. The only reason UK is now
interested in our affairs because the United States is not taking action over us. It is a shame to them because they colonize us. I think that's the reason that the UK president is not inviting the president. The president should look at the essence, the advantages. Why is he going there? Do we have other important things to do? Yeah, I think his insecurity is a factor. Although maybe it might be important for the visit, but I don't think it's that much important. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ahmed. We appreciate that. Mr. Ude, what do you have to say to the fact that on Sunday the president gave an instruction that rice should be bought and given to Nigerians, especially for those fasting, and then for the Lent, for Ramadan and the Lent, the rice should be bought in their numbers and distributed.
It falls strictly under the ad hoc measures.
Is not a caring president?
It falls strictly under the ad hoc measures I condemned earlier when you brought the issue of these town boys. You understand me?
City boy.
City boys.
City boy.
What I expect what the president should do: one, provide security so that farmers will be in their farm when and for how long they want to stay there. That is one. Provide the necessary agricultural incentives.
After
Ramadan, okay, after Ramadan, won't they eat? After Ramadan. In fact, they will eat more after Ramadan. Ramadan is even helping people to save money and save food. So what are you talking? After Ramadan, they will eat more. They will eat more, breakfast, lunch, dinner, some in between meals. So if they eat at Ramadan, they won't eat thereafter. So it is not to wait and give rice at Christmas or Ramadan and Lenten season. Provide the security. Let farmers be very productive and be in their farms. Provide fertilizer and other agricultural inputs. Make them available so that our agricultural production will flourish. It will boom. So that nobody will wait for the order.
Okay.
You quoted a problem here from your place. I want to quote mine from my own place. But we have a problem that if you have to wait for your neighbor, you will eat at midnight.
Wow. Let's go to the phone line. Hello, good evening.
Hello, Mr. President Omani. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
My name is James, calling you from Bokos.
Okay, James from Bokos. Go ahead.
That people, where they come them, city boys, we were village people.
Okay.
So, if there is something that they will contribute to give us to buy fertilizer, in fact, we are in need. We are in need.
Okay.
So, that's my contribution. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. All right. City boy coordinator in Plateau State. You are listening.
A spokesperson for the village boys.
Village boys.
Has engaged here.
Yes.
Yes, and he came with an agenda.
Yes. Fertilizer is what you're asking for.
Yes.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, my name is Johanna. I'm calling from Kikumoda.
Okay, Johanna, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I want people to understand that Nigeria is a British business place. Nigeria can never run away from that because Britain sold us, so we are their investment. If they call the president, he must go. If he attempts not to go there, it is on his risk. So let Nigerians know that we are just their business. And they should forget about saying what is Tinubu going to do in London.
Joanna has answered those of you who are angry that the president is going to the UK. And those are Joanna's comments. It's only his comments. But I hope you get some education from that, though. Anyways, 64641536 is the number. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, I'm calling from St. Louis.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm so worried about the display that happened in water.
Okay.
And I'm just wondering that is it not possible that Nigerian government can wake up to the occasion and take this thing for once and for all? Because the life of this soldier matters a lot to some of what is needed in this country.
If a soldier is killed, I'm not sure that the authorities and the commanding structure of the Nigerian army will have to wait for a command. I'm just thinking from the commander-in-chief for them to go after whoever had taken the
the life of a Nigerian soldier. I'm thinking that they should be provoked enough to ensure that that doesn't happen again by going to arrest the perpetrators. I just think that's the response.
I understand that's a more of an emotional response than a response derived from intelligence. You see, the army is becoming more sophisticated in terms of education, in terms of experience, in terms of general enlightenment. Now, in the days of old, where they put up such emotional responses, sometimes the wrong people become casualties. So what
I'm saying is, I'm not saying they should go for the specific people.
Yes, they
should now be
they may be on it. You understand me? But it's not just a matter of whoever will catch first becomes victim or that kind of thing. I think they should be doing something, because I think that principle of esprit de corps among them is always very strong. That one dead soldier is as good as the rest of us.
On that note, we end today's edition, Monday's edition of the press conference. See you tomorrow. It's another day. Bye-bye.